Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the differences between Howler's 5-star weapon and her 4-star weapon, mainly seeing how they kind of affect her character as a whole here. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, and hit that like and that subscribe button. Really does help out the channel quite a lot and helps us get into the algorithm so we can start producing way more quality videos like other ones that you've seen in the past. But anyways, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Now for Howler, she's the new fire buffer standard character here, and she has of course her 4-star weapon and her 5-star weapon, which are the two that we're going to be testing today. Now before I had of course the 5-star weapon, I was using the 4-star weapon, and it didn't feel like a lot really changed here other than just of course the additional debuffs that we do get with the 5-star. So I really want to sit here and actually compare the two to show you guys exactly what the real differences are, especially when it comes down to if this character's weapon is really necessary to get right now, or if you want to go ahead and wait. Now, first of all, as a disclaimer, if you are free to play or anyone who really doesn't care about the character too much, please do not be summoning on this banner. She is a standard unit and she's going into the standard banner characters, so surely you'll be able to get her and her weapon from the standard pools later down the line. Though just understand that it's going to be a like 1 in 10 chance, so if you are summoning, yes, sure, it is good to get her now, but at the same time, it is a standard character at the end of the day, so don't go too deep for this character. All right, this is content creation purposes. That's the only reason I got her, other than that she's hot. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into the video here. So with the character here, the first little difference that we already noticed, of course, is the rating difference. This is always something that's going to be a difference when it comes down to 4-star and 5-star weapons. I have this fully maxed out here, and of course if we put on the 5-star weapon, we get an increased rating, but that's also because of the subsets that are given. Only a 5 increase, so it's nothing too crazy here, but it of course is a little bit of an increase that you would only get if you get that 5-star weapon over the 4-star weapon being maxed here. One of the few things I want to go ahead and talk about is the effects of each weapon. Now for the 4-star weapon here, you do get EHR, which is luckily a good thing. In fact, is a really good thing here, because we thought at first that just like how we had at least Haru's 4-star weapon a while ago, it was really necessary to get the 5-star weapon because of the goddamn EHR that was presented. Luckily, unlike with Haru's, where there isn't really EHR a lot on this actual what is it called, on this actual weapon, the other weapon actually does have a decent bit of EHR, which is really good, especially if you guys need the EHR for her actual kit, because Howler needs a lot of that. With this in mind here, she actually gets a maxed out amount of at least 41.5% effect hit rate, especially when she has the warm welcome or the furious pursue little effects on her. If you guys don't know exactly what those are part of her skill 1 and then her also skill 2. Skill 1 is for, if I'm right, the warm welcome, and then skill 2 is for the furious pursuit. Warm welcome is mainly going to be the AoE related buff, excuse me, while skill 2, which is furious pursuit, is going to be more of the single target related buff. Whenever you're in one of these states, which comes after pretty much the first hit, you're immediately getting that 41 increase of at least EHR. So if we go ahead and take a look at it right now, our EHR is at least 128%. And if we go ahead and actually put this on for the weapon here, the difference immediately is going to be an EHR increase, which is 164%. With at least the 5-star weapon, you're immediately getting that EHR increase. You don't have to wait for any like states and stuff like that. While the 4-star one, you do need to wait on states. With the 5-star one here, you just immediately get the, I want to say it's 36.0%. And then of course, based on if you're actually already having allies who are triggering follow-ups or even fire skills for that turn, you immediately are getting yourself an 18% increase, which technically is leading you to a 54% overall increase. So if we go ahead and actually add up that 18%, right? Let's say if you have the 5-star weapon and you get the follow-up here, technically your build is done, because the 18% that I have right now, if I was just to put that on top of what I do have, we're already going to be, I think, at like 182, if I'm correct here, in which that'll be 182, in which we only need 172% of EHR. So I mean, like, that's already good just by having the weapon, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have the weapon, which is already one of the deals. Now the other thing that's a little bit different with this at least weapon here is for at least the 4 stars here, instead of scaling more into like defense downs for the enemies or like more EHR rated here, is actually boost up her attack. So at level 0, of course, it's going to be at 12%, going up to a maximum of 24%, which is really, really good because that just gives her, no matter what, a decent bit of attack. Now you do need attack on this character, so just make up for some of that you're lacking. While on the other weapon here, which is the bad doggy weapon, the 5-star here, this one actually doesn't have attack. This one only has EHR and defense down related stats, so it is missing out on that attack type potential. So you do have, of course, the plus of using the 4-star weapon over the 5-star weapon because you're getting more damage out of this one here. But with the 5-star weapon, you actually have something a little different here. Now the 5-star weapon is meant to really give you more of those debuff options here. Depending on if you do have warm welcome, you actually do decrease the enemy's defense by 16.7% here, which is more if you're using the AoE one. Now that's, if the AoE one you're using that, of course, that is 16.7% defense down on every last enemy that, of course, you ended up attacking that time, right? And go up to a max if you are a crazy man. You have this weapon R5, you'd be having this or R6, you'd be having this 31.7%, which is really, really good. Though if you do use the single target one, which is the Furious Pursuit one, you actually get a decrease in enemies defense for 33.3%, going to a whopping 63.3%. So once again, this is really, really nice, right? Okay, this is helping out both of her sets, or both of her kits, which is usually if you are dealing with AoE members, you're now able to take down their defense by 16.7%. You're doing this on single target members, you're able to take down the defense by 33.3%. This is something that the 4-star weapon does not really offer, and it gives you more of that debuffer type feel, but of course you are lacking in that damage department, so surely do keep that in mind. Now, of course, if you do decide to go for the weapon, you do get that little bonus, but if you don't go for it, as I did state beforehand, it isn't the end of the world. But now if we went over the weapons and what they really can do, let's go ahead and show them inside of at least a battle or so, I guess you could say. So we're going to start off with the 4-star weapon. Damage wise, it isn't going to be anything crazy. Once again, she is a supportive debuffer. She is a debuffer, not meant to be dealing tons of damage. I know you guys probably got tricked by that other freaking, what is it called, that that thumbnail I did earlier, but don't worry, she's not meant to be for damage. So we go ahead and use something like this. I'm just going to use this because easy to just pop up, and I don't really feel like going with follow-ups right now, because follow-ups are a little bit of the bane of my existence. So we're going to use something like this. I think using the mechanic weapon actually would come in handy, and I'm just going to leave everything how it kind of is, other than of course getting the fire persona, because why not. But anyways, this would be like a team, right? At this point in time with the 4-star weapon, we already know we need to get into our at least form to get more of that EHR related stat, which is going to be the effect hit rate of 41.1%. If we go ahead and look back at our character, right, we can see everything that we need to do. Currently, we do not have any of the effect hit rate, right? We're not getting any of that boost other than, of course, from our card set effect. We're only getting the attack percentage right now, and that is all we have. There's nothing else that we have currently, and that's going to be triggered once we very well do, of course, go through with what's it called? Once we go through with actually attacking with this character. So first turn, I'm just going to go ahead and do something random. Okay, we're just going to use this. Boom, get an AoE hit off. Okay, we got some fire here. There's one debuff, right? Well, we go ahead, since this is a AoE type deal, we're going to use our AoE move. Use this, boom, get some fire debuffs. Now, no matter what, as you guys see, she no matter what will place this debuff down here, at least the possibility of getting a fire debuff, and she will also put down the possibility of a defense down debuff. So no matter what, this character is still getting the defense down. She's still able to make it so what's it called, you're burning. She's still able to make sure that you're getting that extra, of course, debuffs on there. Alongside of this, she actually helps you with, of course, the increased damage from flame. So that's always something that's good with the negative stat as her passive. But we go ahead and look at this here. We keep on going with the 4-star weapon. Now we do know that she has her EHR. So if we go back to at least her kit, we can see we have a lot of things, we have a lot of buffs, but what we want to see is this 41.5% chance of that EHR. This is now applied thanks for us actually attacking once, and that is how this character is going to work. Once you attack that first time with it, you finally are now getting the second part of the actual weapon here, allowing you to get more of that effect hit rate bonus. Now, this doesn't affect really anyone else here. I guess I'm just gonna, let's just see. I hope I don't kill here, but I might end up killing, and I am gonna kill. I already see it, but let's go ahead and do this here. So boom, we did some decent damage. I wish I could see the damage because I really wanted to actually showcase it off for you guys so you can see exactly what I was talking about when it does come down to that. But of course, let's say we did a decent bit of damage, right? Because our on isn't really that bad. And that's pretty decent. That's really good for at least our 4-star side of things, right? Really, really good. Now, if we go ahead and use this here, since we're using Go-Go Wolf Wolf with at least a 4-star weapon, right? 4-star weapon, this is already where we have at least our EHR. Once we go ahead and use Wolf Wolf here, of course, it's the AoE version. Boom, boom. Does some decent damage. She actually did a decent bit of damage right there. Killed both of those guys, and then we only have this one to deal with. Since we did use Go-Go Wolf Wolf, of course, with the skill 3, we are also giving them another debuff, and that was just from our warm welcome one. So we're now increasing the damage taken, of course, and our EHR. So this is really, really good already, but this is something that's just automatically built in her kit with on top of at least having that permanent EHR factor from the 4-star weapon. Now, granted, now that we've used that little form, EHR is gone. We no longer have that. That is only for one whole turn. So that is the issue with using a 4-star weapon. When you use the 4-star weapon, you have to constantly be attacking at least once or twice to start actually getting up getting up those EHR stats. But that is only, of course, if you do attack. Now, if we go ahead and actually leave out and put on 5-star weapon, the difference isn't crazy huge, but you will see a definite amount of, at least, of course, less EHR worrying or debuff stacking like crazy, and which is always really good when it does come down to it. So go ahead and put on my 5-star weapon here. The difference isn't really going to be with the damage. In fact, we might actually deal a little bit less damage, while our allies will deal more damage because, of course, we're missing out on the attack factor, but our allies are now getting bonuses from the extra debuffs that we do have. So if we go ahead and use this here, and I guess I'll just do the same thing. I'll buff. Go ahead and buff so we can deal a lot more damage anyways here. Pop overheat. Let's see, we got at least one, of course, one burn status. Now, this time we're going to use the skill 1. And first things first, we immediately, of course, get the burns off, get the defense off. That's perfectly fine. But one of the few things that we do have to take into account is now that we have that whole deal, right? We have the same setup. We have everything going. We may have did less damage, right? We may have did less damage. But now when we have, of course, a person utilizing, I don't know, just going ahead and utilizing a fire skill, we get even more EHR. So right now we're sitting at a whopping, let's go ahead and check our EHR right now. We have our EHR just already just built into our kit, right? So just from having this on, we're immediately getting this 36% built in. Well, we don't get this extra 18% until someone triggers a fire move. So if we just go ahead and do, and actually I might just go ahead and just pop this as well, just to do the same thing as we did last time. Boom, 110, crazy, this high damage, right? So since we used a fire move, we should be able to see in her kit that we get an extra 18%, right? Thanks to that, it's no longer us having to use like warm welcome or anything like that by being in the state of getting the EHR. It's just based on our teammates. Since our teammate has used that actual move of being a fire move or maybe a follow-up move, we got that next stack of at least EHR stacking here. Now, the good part about having the 5-star weapon is with this here, we're already setting up. We're setting everything up. We don't really have to do much here. Go ahead and use overheat once again. You guys can see we have 2 debuffs down, already 2 debuffs being at least defense. If we go ahead and use our Go-Go Wolf Wolf here, this is not only going to deal some damage. Oh, well, all right, that caught me off guard. Although that caught me so bad off guard that it crashed our game. Okay, so All right, so what just pretty much happened there, right, is since we were using Go-Go Wolf Wolf, as I did state before, she does lack in the damage department, but the things that make up that damage department is actually going to come down to at least defense downs that she has. And so let me hurry up and just get back up my game real quick, because that was a wild. There we go. But now, thanks to at least us having those defense downs, remember, with her 5-star weapon, she now is able to increase or decrease the enemy's defense. And it's not by a small amount, it is by 16.7% for 2 whole turns. So as you guys saw, we just insta-killed that. We insta-killed it. Of course, granted, they're weak opponents. That's meant to happen. But if we compare it to the 4-star where we actually did some really decent damage, we killed off the allies, or at least the enemies on the sidelines, but we didn't kill the main enemy. This one knocked out not only the enemies on the sidelines with ease, but also knocked out the boss with ease. So there is a little bit of a huge difference, or at least a little bit of a difference with having those extra defense down stacks here. So surely do keep that in mind. So when it does come down to at least the weaponry wise or weapons in general for Howler, there isn't a huge difference here. One requires at least actually getting some attacks or being in a state to actually get that extra EHR, while the other gets that off bat and gets additional due to a follow-up. And then the other gives attack, allowing you to be more a little bit of a aggressive type player. And while the other one, being the 5-star, decreases defense, overly just helping out everybody on your team, including yourself, for at least that damage. So it's kind of a middle ground weapon. It's also a middle ground type thing in addition to the character that really just makes her pretty darn decent by getting the 5-star. Now granted, you don't have to summon for this 5-star anyways. If you have been saving with battle passes for free, of course, if you go over to Y, of course, you have the 10 coins, you very well could just go ahead, go here, go exchange out the actual weapon when you want it later on, and then bada bing bada boom, you're done. That's it. That's all you have to really focus on. But those are the main differences when it does come down to at least 5-star weapons. Of course, if you guys want more videos like these, be sure, of course, to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. And until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp, stay determined, and pretty much out.